Hey, how are we going? So we're back out on the golf course. Isn't it great to be out and about? Whew. Breathe in that beautiful fresh air. But now that we're back out on the golf course, I'm sure the game might be a bit rusty and full of technical jargon and swing mechanics and all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff, which is good and bad. But it's an awesome opportunity for me to run through some mental process stuff and pre-shot routine and bits and pieces that can make a massive boost to your game, especially for these next couple of weeks when we, especially in New Zealand, having to play in ones or twos or within our bubble, basically. So it's a great time to work on mental process and how to think on the golf course, and especially if you're playing by yourself. It's a great opportunity with no scorecard to really focus in on mental performance. So this little video here, we're going to talk about the beginnings of what we call a preload, which happens before the pre-shot routine, or the action phase, or the post-shot phase. So there's a bit to cover. And here we're going to talk about the three major things that happens when you get to the golf ball, what we're going to talk about, what you should be thinking about, how it all functions, and how it's going to help you. All right, before any more ado, let's get into it. All right, so let's get into it. So somehow or another, my first tee shot that I've hit on the golf course for a long time managed to hit the fairway. Maybe I hit 3-wood. Maybe that was half the problem. And now we get in a situation here. Now, obviously, in this case, there's no flags on the hole, which is perfectly fine with me for what we're trying to learn. We're going to get into the process of approaching these preload information. So, what is preload? Where does it fit in? What's all this blah, 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 blah. So, preload is the gathering of information before you start your pre-shot routine, which is your process of alignment, practice swings, all that sort of stuff. This is preload. So, you get to these three variables that happen on every shot. And if you're not consistent with these, chances of you making good decisions are dramatically minimized, like straight down the hill. So we want to get into the habit of being consistent with our preload. So what are we talking about? The three variables are lie. In other words, how is the golf ball sitting? How are your feet? Like, in other words, how's your stance? Uphill, downhill? Lie. Generally not flat like on a range mat. Conditions. What is the temperature? Where's the breeze? How is the turf? Firm, soft? What are you hitting onto? A firm or a soft green? Is it raised? Is it high? Is it low? So from these first two, even you're going to have a certain certainly from your lie, is going to be like here. It's a little downhill, sloping that way. The ball's going to obviously want to launch a little bit lower than it would if it was on an uphill lie or even flat, and it might want to also, but the combination of ball above and down generally make it go straight. Compared to if it's just above me, I want to go left. If it's just downhill, I might want to square it right. So understanding how is that lie going to affect my launch direction, and then in conditions, it's a little in the afternoon, evening here, so it's be a little cooler, so it might take 1 or 2 yards off. Green I'm hitting into, 2-tier green. Now we'll play it as if the pin was back left, so I know I'm landing into a downslope. So automatically, before I even get my number, I'm starting to think, okay, if it's back left, the ball's going to come out low, so I need to hit some kind of a higher shot. If it's a back left flag, say middle of the green is 65, so back left would be, say, 75. I'd be like, okay, I've got to carry it 65 minimum. It's going to want to come out low. This is probably, in these conditions, a flag I might have to aim a couple meters right of, because if I miss it short left, I'm in the trap. And the smart play is going to be 1 or 2 meters right. So instantly, if you get into the habit of going, what's the lie giving me? What's the conditions giving me? And then getting probably distance maybe last, you're going to start to think about where you want to go, as opposed to just walking up, zapping the flag, and then charging back, pulling a club, and not having any concept of war. Then getting over the ball and going, oh, hang on, this ball's a bit above my feet, and then trying to make late corrections, or standing there and feeling a random wind that you didn't feel before you started your whole shot, your whole pre-shot routine. So this example here, we'll go ahead, pull the shot, hit the ball. For me, 75 back left, there'll be a little club wedge. It's a little 58. This will be interesting, won't it? I'll just play it as it lies. Be a little 3/4 one, and it'll land 70. Oh man, I'm looking forward to hitting on the grass. Start that. Face. Get the feet. 1 or 2 meters a little further right than we wanted, but middle of the green, curves to the left. Beautiful. Take that all day. Always remember, fix your bloody pitch divots and your pitch marks. All right, let's go pick that one up, go to the next hole, talk about the same process off the tee. All right, so now we're in the next tee, and yes, I've got driver out. Why? Because I'm itching to hit a driver. Gosh, not warmed up or anything, but man, I bloody well want to hit a driver. Hopefully I don't send my beautiful Pro V into the water over there. That's not good thinking, fans, is it? Pick a target, clear left. So, same process applies with a preload when we get up on a tee though, however, right? So, lie while it's flat, hopefully. Some tee boxes, obviously, we play. It's not going to be flat, is it? But generally, it should be flat. It's teed up. Conditions obviously should be from there, lie. I mean, but obviously you can adjust the lie too, right? You have got that chance with the tee shot, especially with the driver, to choose whether you want to go higher or you want to go lower. So tee is an advantage here. I'm going to go mid-flight, so I'm going to tee it up mid-height. Conditions here, a little down breeze, hopefully. Fairway's firm, so again, I don't have to, and then obviously pick from there, my target, and know how far it is. So I need to carry it about 235 to 40 meters up the left-hand side. That's meters, so it's about 260, 270 yards up the left. Preferably on the right, the carry gets a bit longer, so my target needs to be sort of a power pole, just right, yeah, about that power pole out there in the distance. And if I miss it a bit left, I carry it far enough, it's fine. Good old New Zealand golf. The further you go, the less the mess. So we'll give this one a whack, and hopefully all that speed training I've been doing in the last 4 weeks has helped a little bit. But tee shots routines are pretty simple in comparison, right? Oh, we missed it a bit left. Lost the balance too, and the whole bloody thing. But I think we got enough carry to get over it all. Sweet. Next shot should be a lot more entertaining. All right. So, thankfully, all that time swinging like a madman in the backyard paid off. We managed to carry it just over the hazard. And as you can see, we've got a gap, a light in the tunnel. Only good thing was, I suppose, off the tee, that my decision to aim more down the left gave me more margin for error than aiming down the right. If I hit this distance on the right, I would have been closer to the state highway than I would have been to the golf course. So, same process again here. You see, I almost went back to the bad habit of getting the distance first. So first things first, here we've got the opposite lie, right? Ball a little bit above, which is helpful when I have trees. If it was downhill, it'd be a slightly more difficult shot. Pretty level otherwise, maybe a little bit down that way, so up, and again, probably going to level out to make it pretty straight. Conditions otherwise, a little down, hitting a little uphill. So the ball's, it's almost all evening out, all those conditions, right? Where you have the lie up makes the ball go higher and stop quicker. Down uphill and downwind makes the ball come in a more, what we call a steeper descent. So it's going to make the ball land and run on a bit more. But all these variables together pretty much add up to being dead flat, believe it or not. So whatever yardage I get, say to the middle of the green from here, there we go, we'll try and hit that. Say it's about 102. All those variables together add up to be pretty much zero. And for me, 102, cool evening. I'll just take my little gappy, nice and soft. Just chip it into the middle of the green. Take the easy option for once in your life. And then from there, on my routine, right? Which we will get to in the next video. Ooh, pretty good strike. Right in the middle of it. One hop, stop. Ooh, but a check. Razzmatazz. Here we go, middle of the green. Easy par, maybe the bogey. Oh, well, we've got a couple, got time for a couple more holes, I suppose. May as well join me for them. Explain the process a few more times. Hopefully you can get the gist of it. Now also remember, the order of these events, I don't mind, as long as you're consistent with them, you know. Lie, conditions, and distance. You could go distance, lie, conditions, distance, lie. I don't mind. As long as you are consistent. I'm starting to like more and more to go, as I've done before in these couple previous holes, to go lie first, condition second, or conditions first, lie second, one of those two, up to you. And distance last is because when you've got a laser, as soon as you get the laser, the flag, or you get your distance, you get lazy with the other two. And they're very important variables. So I'm kind of favoring getting those other two first, which either one. Here, lie's obviously perfect. T-box is a little slopes that way, but she's pretty flat in general. Just teeing it up mid-height, mid-flight again. I've got driver out again, because I just love hitting driver. Except on the first hole, right? Conditions, the breeze is a little into and from the left. Target here, it's always safe to carry, cover the corner. Leaves only a bit of a little wedge or flick in. No idea where the flag is today. Obviously, probably in the middle of the green, like all the other ones will be. But from there, I kind of have a very clear picture before I get to my pre-shot routine where I want to go. I know where I want to go. I know how far I need to hit. I've ticked all those boxes in my mind. So before I start my process, I know where I'm going. I'm not starting my routine, standing up over here, and then deciding, oh, where am I going? That's too late. That's perfect for indecision. Oh, what am I going? Where am I doing? So I already know exactly my target. I can already see it, feel what I'm trying to do, and then I can go ahead and run my process. A couple meter fade for a change, but she looks like a fairway. Holy moly, fairway ball. All right, so we're walking down the fairway for a change. Well, say it's the new normal. Right language, Gurney, right language. And towards my ball. So we were about 40 meters away from it, maybe. You can see. There it is over there somewhere. Probably can't see it. Oh, other way. There in the fairway. When you're out there playing, even if it's by yourself, I would suggest not getting into the shot until you get to the shot. You know, take your time, look around, or still walk faster. Look around, enjoy the environment, your friends, everything. You don't want to be thinking about the shot all the time before you get there. You're out playing golf for a few hours. If you're fully intent in what you're doing and focused on golf, where I'm going the whole time, you're gonna, you'll get to the last 6 holes or whatever, and you'll be done mentally, completely fried. Kentucky fried. You don't want to be like that. You want to be focused in your shot, run your routine to the best of your ability when you get to the routine, when it's your turn to hit, and then switch off. Just let it go. What will be. C'est la vie. Just enjoy it. Especially, most golf courses are built in these amazing places. So take advantage of it. Focus on the shot when you hit it, and then switch off. You can't control it after that. So just let it go. Let's move this over here so you can watch me hopefully hit the fairway again. I'm right up by the 100-meter mark here. Flag is obviously in the middle there, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm still going to get my laser. I'm still going to run my process. Let's go. All right. So we had the opportunity there to just look at a distance and go hit a shot. We managed to avoid it. Whew. Perfect lie. Don't need to place it. No place it. Wow. I don't think. I'm not used to being in the fairway. So, said it again. I'm used to being in the fairway. Be nice to yourself. Green there's a little imaginary flag there, cup, which is just on the slopes. There's a little backboard. What breeze there is, which is extremely minimal now. Temperature is more the issue. It's dropped off. There's a little breeze on that tree back there. And when you're looking for breeze, also don't look at necessarily don't feel it down here. Always look at the top branches of the trees. And sometimes if you can see, like, there's a lovely wind wall over there that you won't be able to feel any breeze close. If I look further back, there's a tree there about 120 meters behind me, and I can clearly see the top of all the leaves flooding quite happily. So I might not feel anything here, but as soon as my ball gets above that tree line, it's going to be a little hurting, which is worth maybe a third of a club, or half a club. There's a difference between hitting it stiff and hitting it to, 20 feet. So now I've got the feeling it's a little into, lies absolutely perfect. I've got a backboard so I can carry it all the way there. I'm looking at about 85-ish to the 80, maybe 83 to that little flat thing, 85 to the backboard. So for me, it's just a nice soft, could be a soft, it could be a hard lobby or a soft sandwich, and into the breeze, you're going to take the extra club. When it's breezy, swing it easy. Obviously, it's not very windy at the moment, but there's absolutely no bonus to trying to smash this one in there. Just a smooth, for me, sandwich is going to be perfect. And just nice in the middle of the green, run the routine, and we're good to go. A little thin to win. Should have plenty of zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. A little thin, so it carried a little far and checked up again. Man, these greens are spinning. That's right, so that one was a little thin, so it carried an extra 4 or 5 meters, but fairways and greens, man, stress-free. All right, lucky last hole. Let's run our preload one more time. Perfect lie. Conditions we know from all the previous holes is a little bit of breeze up high. From the left, bugger all really. A couple of kilometers an hour, bugger all. More temperature is the big factor here. You've got to factor in temperature, and remember, distance-wise, especially if you look at any TrackMan data or any testing at all, temperature is pretty much the biggest effect on distance. Wind obviously is there, but temperature is massive. It's surprising how much a warm day will have as opposed to a cold day. It's crazy. And obviously as it drops off in the evening, or if you're playing early in the morning, when you're doing your measurements, add half a club, sometimes maybe a full club, just purely on temperature or how many layers of clothing you've got on. Because not only your swing speed is going to be slower, the ball when it gets in the air, it's just not going to be happy being there. So these conditions here are going to be worth at least almost a full club. Hopefully not. Got 161, 164 to that. So let's say about low 160s, so that's 160 something meters. It's about 180 odd yards. Front of the green, 150 odd, water short and right. Best place to be is pin high left. For me, it's a little 6-iron. Don't have to smash or anything, just nice and smooth. Close that. And let's have a little swing here. Thank you for joining me, by the way. Bloody nice evening, actually. Let's see if we can finish on a good one. Oh, man, we're swinging this club nicely today. Be good. Oh. Ah. All right, well, thanks for joining me. It's been a blast. That's step one of a solid golf understanding of mental performance, is understanding those 3 condition factors. You can plug them in without having to worry about any of the other steps. Everyone can do it. Everyone can be consistent. You can do it very quickly once you get used to it. And by all means, this next game of golf or two, get out there and start to think, what is my process of preload, lie, conditions, distance? Which one am I going to do first? Experiment maybe for 3 holes doing it one way, experiment the next 3 holes the other way, and then the last 3 holes another way. Find which way works best for you as an individual, and then focus your attention on mastering those steps. And then once you've done it, relax, hit it, next shot, plug in, what is my process, get the job done. All right, thanks again. Look forward to seeing you in the next one.